It was brilliant to hear Michael Heseltine on LBC yesterday being interviewed by Ben Kentish, who asked him when it might be possible to have another Brexit vote on getting rid of Brexit, i.e. rejoining the European Union. And Michael Heseltine's reply, what really gave huge optimism. Have a listen.
When is the time for another referendum on whether or not we should rejoin, Lord Heseltine?
Well, I would wait to see the consolidation of public opinion. At the moment, public opinion is now recognises the mistake and is now pro-European. That's where the public opinion is today. Personally, I would, if I was advising a government, I'd say, look, take it by step, argue the case, explain the problems, and let public opinion consolidate.
But within the next decade?
Oh, God, yes.
Within the next 5 years? Within the next parliament?
I would think in the next parliament, perfectly possible.
Another referendum on rejoining the European Union?
Yes,
so it might be only 10 years on from the decision to leave. Don't people want to move on? Just finally, Lord Heseltine, a lot of people scarred by the sort of wars of Brexit. People just want to move on, don't they?
Then you want to look at the detail of the poll, and the European Movement poll is very interesting. The only people who are still anti-Europe now are over 75. And the younger they are, the more pro-European they are. Now, that is going to feed through into public opinion more widely. It already is, but it'll happen more widely. And so what I would advise governments to do is to build stepping stones back, but with conviction. And above all else, with a vision. Look, we are Europeans. We have been Europeans for as long as anyone can write the history of this country. And the idea that we can somehow operate in the world as a nation state with the limited resources that we possess, compared with the giants of America, China, increasingly India, who will be using their public resources, their state funds, their taxation revenues, to advance all sorts of technologies and defense capabilities. The only way we can credibly play a role in the world is as part of a European presence, a shared sovereignty, because sovereignty shared is bigger than any sovereignty we can enjoy ourselves.
That Michael Heseltine thinks that it's possible for us to have a vote on rejoining in this next parliament, that is, in the next 5 years. That is really exciting. But of course he's right, as he said, we know that all the Brexit voters or believers are older, and every month more and more people, young people, join the electorate. And that means that there's hope for a huge success in a rejoin referendum. And that gives us something really excited to look forward to. But of course, the other thing that is worth watching is the opposition to the rejoin movement, is that there's still a number of people who are still misinformed and still believe that there's something magical and marvellous about Brexit. Just have a listen to this caller into Ben Kentish yesterday.
I don't want another vote. Why should we have another vote?
Because the majority of people in this country think we were wrong to leave now. They think we made a mistake.
All of you, most of you presenters, and a lot of rich people want Labour in. Well, I'm sorry, I can see
How do you know that?
Really seriously wrong with that. They keep saying that people can't go abroad, they can't do this. Of course you can.
No, a lot of the rights that students had, that's not true. A lot of the rights that students and young people had to go abroad and work have been ended because of Brexit.
They can still, I'm sorry, but they can still go abroad and work.
They can't in many cases.
I bet you they can.
They can't. They have to have visas. Go and look it up. They have to have visas to go and work abroad for any length of time.
Why they've got to go and work abroad? Because all the people over here, all the companies over here, only want to employ on farms to pick their produce.
What if they just want to work abroad?
They only want to employ the cheap foreign labour. That's why.
But what if these young people don't want to work on farms? What if they're software engineers? What if they're musicians?
But years ago, before all this came up, people used to go hop picking.
But
people went on the farm. English people.
Lynn, that wasn't on the side of the bus, was it? You've paid 50. Lynn, come on, that wasn't on the bus, was it? You've paid 50 grand for university degree. You wanted to go and work in Europe because you're a highly qualified engineer, but instead you're going to have to stay here and pick hops. Is that really the message to young people?
Yeah, but you're quite prepared for the foreigners to come over and do it for £1 an hour or whatever they give.
But what if young people don't want to do it? What if they want the opportunities that the world offers them?
I told you years ago it used to be offered to the young people and the families.
Make them pick hops. Is that the message to young people in this country today? We're really sorry, you've got your degree, you're highly qualified in certain whatever it is, but you can't go abroad because we voted to leave. Tough luck, the farm needs some labourers. My God. That wasn't the pitch in 2016, was it? That's the sunlit uplands, is it, for this generation? Sorry you're growing up saddled in debt, but, there's some strawberries that are going rotten.
There's lots of people like Lynn who have been misled to believe that all of our problems came from people coming over here from the EU. And it's been in the Daily Mail and in the Times and across the right-wing press, and Nigel Farage has been going on about it since UKIP appeared. And really, even as we know, before with Enoch Powell, it was there. But it is incorrect. The truth of the matter is the birth rate in Britain has been in decline for decades. And we need immigration because the top-heavy baby boom population are living longer, which means the working age population is shrinking. And that means that we need to find other youngsters to come here and work, especially as some of our youngsters go and work in other countries. And since Brexit, that's happened an awful lot. Many of our young have gone to go and work in countries like Australia and Canada and New Zealand to escape Brexit and the recession here that it's causing. The cost of living squeeze is worse here because inflation is higher because of Brexit. And one thing that makes inflation higher is the shortage of workers. And it's frustrating business, which is another reason why we need to undo Brexit. But Michael Heseltine is absolutely right to make it believable that we can have a referendum fairly soon. Because if we think it's too far away or too difficult, then the feelings and that we need to build that movement to rejoin is never going to start. And our job is so much easier than the Brexit camp because we're already beginning with a majority who want to rejoin. So it is just about having a positive mindset. And well done, Michael Heseltine, for beginning that belief that we are within the reach of a referendum in the next 5 years.
Finally. Come on, littlies, come on.